What happened to Gennady Kvikvinia? From top 10 in the world to not competing at all. Gennady possibly has the biggest fall from grace in the arm wrestling community, maybe behind Denis Saplankov. Well, welcome back to Arm Wrestling Unpacked. Today we're covering the fall of Gennady, from losing his position in the top 10 to him possibly not even being allowed back in East vs. West. Gennady has been a major force in arm wrestling for well over a decade, but he never had the notoriety of the bigger names like John, Dennis, Devin, Michael, etc. Gennady's career really began to climb in the public eye of the arm wrestling community with the start of the King of the Table and East vs. West. Oh, and by the way, rest in peace to King of the Table. It was a big part of the beginning of this modern resurgence of arm wrestling, and I doubt we'll see any more events there. But anyways, in 2021, Gennady faced Hermes Gasparini at King of the Table 2. And Gennady was actually considered the favorite in many's eyes, including Devin, who had this to say.
Like a chump. Gennady's gonna spank you tomorrow. You got no business talking to me right now.
Though Gennady ended up losing that match, he put up a ton of resistance and showed that he was near the top of the sport. Gennady's next match was against Michael Todd at East vs. West 2, where he ended up winning 3-1. And if I recall correctly, I feel like most of the community had Michael Todd as the favorite. So Gennady winning, and in the fashion he did, was a massive upset. But this was Michael Todd before the bicep tear, and before he transformed into, Michael Todd 6.0 or whatever. But, we'll save that for another video. Gennady's next match was against Dave Chafee, where he actually won 3-2, and I gotta say, this match was incredible. Dave was easily top 10 at the time, possibly even top 5, pretty sure. But Gennady had so much heart, and he just always seemed to find a way to pull through. He ended up getting a stop on his bicep close to the pin pad, and was able to completely bring the match back, gassing out Dave. Gennady's next match was against Jerry Cadaret, and this match was an absolute war. This is, to date, still one of the most entertaining matches I've seen at East vs. West. Jerry did end up winning 3-2, but I really personally think this match could have gone either way, especially if they had to win 4 rounds instead of 3, but that's all speculation. And anyways, Gennady's next match was against Farid, and I won't attempt to pronounce his last name, but this match was completely one-sided. Gennady easily won this match. But Gennady's next match might be his most impressive win of his whole career, and that was against Mr. Krusty the Clown himself, Devin Lorette. Devin Lorette at the time was on an absolute tear. This was after he lost to Levon in the first meetup, so to redeem himself, Devin went on to destroy every single person he faced up to the second Levon match. But there was one man who was able to stop Devin from sweeping the whole league, and that was Gennady. Gennady was able to expose a major flaw in Devin's game by challenging him inside. Gennady forced Devin to go inside with him, and at this time, Devin wasn't training his inside move, and Gennady took advantage of this. You could maybe say he was the first person on the table to out-endure Devin, and Gennady ended up taking this match 3-2. But, this is really where I feel Gennady's career peaked, because tragedy struck. Just as soon as he was at the peak of his career, he was to soon face his biggest roadblock yet. Gennady, while training, tore his bicep. And it wasn't a minor tear like Devin's, where it could just heal on its own. No, this tear required surgery. And the aftermath of this tear could not be missed. Gennady's bicep insert was obviously no longer what it once was, as you can see here. But more than anything, we could see the difference this made on the table with Gennady's strength. Gennady's next match, after taking a year and a half off, was against Michael Todd 2.0. And Gennady actually put up a massive fight, but Michael ended up walking away with the victory. I actually think people thought this match indicated that maybe Gennady was still in peak shape, but personally I disagree. I think at this time Michael was still on the climb post bicep tear, and if Gennady had faced the Michael Todd of today, I don't think it'd be so close. And then Gennady's next match was a rematch against Devin Lorette. And boy oh boy was this match a shit show. This match took place in Georgia, and many think there was a bias in reffing against Devin. But this match was incredibly long, I think like 45 minutes, and with little actual time arm wrestling. I feel like Gennady did more yelling than actually arm wrestling, and many thought Gennady's behavior on the table was unsportsmanlike. Same thing they accused Devin of. Devin ended up destroying Gennady 4-1, and the one round Gennady did win was due to Devin being fouled out. Some might say unfairly, but now this brings us to Gennady's last public match, and that was against Ibrahim Sagov. This match was at 115 kg, and it's the first time we would see Gennady drop to a lower weight class. Many thought since Gennady was such an overwhelming force in the super heavyweights that he would come in and just dominate the heavyweights. But this was not the case at all. Sagov absolutely destroyed Gennady 4-0. Gennady wasn't able to get any stops at all. He was flash pinned in every round. So at this point, Gennady was no longer considered in the top 10 of the super heavyweights anymore, after being in that conversation for the last 4 to 5 years. So what does Gennady decide to do from here? Well, surely that would be go back to the drawing board, fight his way back up to the top. No. Gennady would actually end up boycotting East vs. West, and was one of the first voices to speak out during the whole Ingen East vs. West situation, in which many thought that Ingen was trying to sabotage the league. But that's another conversation. But Gennady didn't just stop there. He actually attempted to take advantage of this situation by starting his own league that, some might say was a ripoff of East vs. West. The league was called GVW instead of EVW, but I'll let you decide on that. Gennady basically decided to profit over maintaining a relationship with East vs. West, and this did not end well at all, as many thought it wouldn't. Athletes have actually spoken out complaining they haven't been paid.
On today's agenda are news about the tournament in Georgia, Georgia versus the world. This organization really hasn't paid us the fee from the first tournament.
And the second event ended up getting shelved for who knows what reason. I mean, we could speculate. So at this point, Gennady has not competed in a year up to this date, and I think it's likely, at least at East versus West, we will never see him compete again. Who knows? But that wraps that up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, and until next time.